I'm Amy. I'm a junior data scientist at a tech startup called Infogrid, and I only started this time last year, so quite new to the field. And before this, I was finishing up my PhD in an unrelated field in chemistry at UCL. I've studied chemistry throughout my whole education up until this point last year when I joined the company. I think in the space of development and also data science, I do like constant learning is definitely a factor. I really enjoy kind of always expanding my brain. So yeah, with development and tech, there's always new tech coming out, new libraries, new things you need to learn, new languages evolving, and I do really like always having to learn more. Also, the biggest part though is always the problem solving. So there's kind of the day-to-day technical problem solving. You know, there's the error in my code. How do I fix it? But being able to apply kind of that along with seeing the bigger real world problem you're trying to solve. For example, you're trying to design an algorithm that helps you classify something, and being able to see the results in real life, that's super satisfying. When you've designed something, it totally works. It's really interesting because obviously before this, I'd been in university for basically 10 years. I did my undergrad, then I did a PhD. And as a PhD student, you're still a student, but also, you become the person giving tutorials to people. So there's a certain level of seniority. But when you change field, you're suddenly at the bottom of the ladder again. So it can be quite jarring. Um, so I guess I had to almost kind of reframe how I thought of things again. You're the little fish in the pond again, and you have to be shameless in asking for help and shameless in asking as many questions as you can. And this does lead to a bit of imposter syndrome. I probably have experienced biases in my career, but it's hard to say because I think a lot of these things are kind of built into systems, and they can be quite they're not explicit, they're more like implicit sometimes, or like the kind of the way people think about certain things, or the way things are traditionally done, for example, in academia. But likewise, in the engineering space, my team are all guys. I'm the only girl. I'm the only non-white person as well. Fortunately, my team are absolutely great. They're really, I feel like I can fully be myself at work, but I know for some people it's not like that at all. And it might be something that's worse in, bigger systems, bigger companies. So I'm fortunate that Infogrid's definitely not, I don't feel any of that stuff here. But having moved through academia, I can definitely see some of the biases have been a bit more institutionalized. I have acted as a kind of mentor before, kind of more in my academic life, where I'd be a tutor to younger students or students in lower years. As for receiving mentorship, I've received a little throughout my kind of younger schooling years, but nothing kind of university onwards. But actually, so since coming to Infogrid and it being a startup, there haven't always been lots of structures in place to help someone who's completely junior. It's not a grad scheme, right? So um, in kind of furthering my own learning, I considered maybe asking for a mentor. So when I first started, I was able to speak to someone who was one of the co-founders who helped me once a week with pair programming, for example. And that was super, super valuable. And he's no longer available to do that anymore. I've gone, I've been proactive in asking for further peer programming and further teaching, even if it isn't one designated mentor. I think having someone there to A, teach you stuff that you need to learn and it'll help you get there faster, and B, to also kind of talk you through those times where you're thinking, oh, this isn't going so well, I'm going through certain difficulties, and it's a workplace. It's not, it's not like school or university where you have maybe a personal tutor there anymore. Having someone there to talk you through what seems normal, what doesn't, who isn't just your boss, I think that's super duper worthwhile. When I first started out, I actually did one of those Code for Skills coding courses, and that taught me a little bit about web design. And later on, I went back to Instruct because I thought I should give back to the community, and they do really great work. I've really benefited from some of the Code for Skills courses, and then also some of the schemes they have. For example, working with Bank of America to do a kind of maybe like a short visit to the site and speak to engineers there and other women working at different levels within that bigger organization. It provides a lot of insight to someone who might not be able to get any otherwise. Um, in addition to Code Skills, I like to attend meetups. So I'm a part of the Pi Ladies kind of meetup organization. And I've got a couple of friends who are also in other ones. For example, She Plus Plus is one as well. So there's some really cool ones out there. And I'm kind of collecting them as I go, to be honest, because it's some really awesome communities doing worthwhile things. I came from an academic background, and there's always teething problems when you're switching field. And I think people from academic backgrounds can be quite siloed sometimes. You know, you're in your little research bubble, and the commercial and like private sector seems super far away, and things work at a different pace. Um, but yeah, seek out, talk to as many people as you can. I think number one, go to meetups, try and meet as many people working in your field already. Try and kind of identify what the current trends are just for your own awareness, because I didn't realize I attended loads and loads of meetups just out of personal interest. But when I came to talking to people about getting a job, or, you know, what the field of data science was like, I didn't realize that I'd picked up loads of kind of domain specific knowledge by osmosis by turning up to all these cool meetups and just chatting to people, right? So it became super valuable. So yeah, put yourself in the space. Basically, if you want to go somewhere, put yourself in the space, shamelessly speak to people, ask for help. Yeah, and don't ever hold yourself back. All that imposter syndrome stuff. If you're looking at a job ad and you think, oh, I only tick 4 of the 10 boxes, give it a go anyway. Yeah, absolutely, just go for it.